Segura for MMA Junkie. I'm here with one of the vets of the game, Kevin Lee. We're here in Miami at the Dirty Boxing inaugural event. First of all, what brings you out here, and what have you thought so far about the event?
Yeah, so far so good. This is the first one. Checking out Dirty Boxing. Shout out to Mike Perry, and I hear John Jones involved with it too. So it's good to see like veterans of the game getting involved on the promotional side. So I'm here to support it. Check it out, and if they throw a number at me, you never know. I'm making my comeback, so we gonna see what it do.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Are you here just as a fan, or is there something more to that?
That competitor side of me is always in there. You know, I'm making my return back down on 155. I haven't fought here since I fought Charles Oliveira, so there's still a lot of upside to me, and I'm looking to make a comeback. So this might be a nice little transition to get back into MMA. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
You fought last year in MMA, and I think in November you were supposed to fight like bare knuckle MMA, right?
Yep.
What happened to that? You were supposed to fight Saul Almeida, right?
Yeah, there was rumors of that, but there was never a signed contract. Yeah, it was never official. They used it to promote, and I get it. I get how it goes, but there was never a signed contract. So, yeah, I fought one time last year, back home in Michigan, and I'm back on the winning track, and I'm looking to continue that streak.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You signed with GFL, right?
Yep.
What's going on with that? What's the latest? Obviously, they've yet to like fully kick off, but what's going on with that as well?
Yeah, the first event will be in May. I'm hearing this in LA. You know, I'm trying to get on that card. We're gonna see. Right now, they're looking for opponents. They've been, you know, oh, you might fight Ben Henderson, then you might fight Anthony Pettis, then it might be Tony Ferguson. So right now we're gonna see what the opponent is and what the date is, and I'm already signed with them. That's where all my focus and all my attention is to. But if something else comes up, then the contract allows me to kind of branch off and do other things in the meantime if there's no fight date. But right now, it's in May is the first inaugural event, and I'm looking forward to being on that one too.
Yeah. And you just said 155. You're gonna commit to making the return to your original weight class?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You know, the injuries are you know, set in stone. The injuries are a thing of the past, and now I can actually make the return. You know, I originally went up to 170 just because of the injuries. I wasn't able to keep the weight down, but now I'm fully back.
How does that weight cut look again? Because it's been years since you've made that weight class, and I remember a lot of people kind of labeled you as kind of like in betweener, right? Like between 170, 155, more like a 165 type of guy. But you're confident you can make 155 and have a few fights there and continue your career there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm 100% confident. You know, I'm still the same size as when I made 155 before. Like I said, it was just the injuries was stopping me from being able to run as much as I needed to in order to keep it down. But now that it's a thing of the past, yeah, I'm very, very confident I can make 155 again.
And you were calling a lot for that Tony Ferguson fight. Obviously, there's tons of history there. At the time, it was a really big fight for the interim belt. He's fighting Dillon Danis. What'd you make of that booking?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, they want to get Tony a win. I think that's really what it's about. You know, on top of kind of trying to capitalize on Dillon's star a little bit. You know, he's fighting KSI, I think, at the end of this month. So, you know,
That fight,
I get it.
KSI got sick. They postponed it, or to be rescheduled because they don't have a date.
Oh, I just learned something new.
Yeah.
Oh, so that fight's not happening no more?
No.
So that throws another little wrench in the plans. I don't know. It seems like Dillon never shows up to fight. He's somebody who keeps his name in the media. He does certain things that I don't necessarily condone to keep his name in the media. But he never fights. He never shows up to fight. So is that Tony Ferguson fight going to happen? I seriously doubt it. And they were saying he's on Team New York. I'm on Team New York. And if that fight falls apart, then I think that it only makes sense that you make me and Tony again. That's the fight that makes the most sense. And it's the biggest fight the GFL can put on right now. Don't forget, this is one of the biggest fights that the UFC put on at the time. We were coming off of Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather, and the sport was in a weird place. They didn't know if there was going to be a future in it. And when me and Tony put on that fight, we made sure that we solidified that MMA is here to stay and it's going to continue to grow. We fought for his interim title. while he fought Floyd Mayweather. So it was a huge fight, big pay-per-view numbers, and I think it could be the same for GFL.
Yeah, Dillon, has a history of like not fighting. He only has 2 professional MMA fights, which is crazy because he's been around the sport for a long time. So are you almost kind of starting to train? Because like if that doesn't happen, I would imagine you'd be like a top candidate to call up as a replacement. That'd be a big fight.
Yeah, I think that's the fight to make. Like I said, I don't necessarily see that fight happening. I'm in full training right now. It's Ramadan, so I'm fasting and training at the same time. And yeah, that's the fight that I think should happen, especially if they do it in LA or if they want to do New York, wherever they want to make the fight happen. I'm ready for it.
And you are I'm very ignorant to the religion, but like you converted to Islam like fairly recent, like right in the last few years or so.
Yeah, it's been about 3.5 years. This is my 4th Ramadan that I'm going through, and that's helped me cut the weight down too. You know, not eating and drinking from sun up to sundown. That's definitely kept my weight low. So I'm very, very confident to make 155 in May.
Yeah, what pushed you to that, and also like how has that changed your life in the last 3 years or so?
Yeah, it's given me a lot of focus, a lot of clarity, and it's just cut out a lot of bullshit out of my life. Like it's real. It's a very simple, peaceful type of religion, and in this sport and doing what we do and fighting for a living, I needed to have that balance, and I'm kind of glad that I found it.
When you saw Magomed Ankalaev defeat Alex Pereira during Ramadan, he did his entire training camp. I think on fight week he like broke the rules a little bit because of the weight cut, but more or less he still like stuck to a lot of it. Bilal Muhammad has fought during Ramadan. Like, do you have an extra respect for those guys that have been in this crazy sport fighting through what it is a tough schedule?
Yeah, 100%. Anybody who fights during Ramadan is a monster. I mean, I respect the hell out of Bilal Muhammad for doing it. I think he was really the one that went through a full training camp during Ramadan, and I got full respect for that. And when you speak on the Ankalaev fight, I think that kept him confident, it kept him focused, and it let him go out there and destroy a monster and back up Pereira. You never seen nobody do nothing like that, and I think you do have to attribute some of that to his religion and his steadfastness.
All right, Kevin, we're looking forward to whatever's next. Hopefully it is that Tony Ferguson fight because I think a lot of people want to see it. And best of luck on whatever comes next, man.
That's the one. I appreciate it. I'm going to get back in here and finish watching these fights. It's been a great event so far. And like I said, if they got a number for me, just give me a call.